Hello, so it's the end of the month. I'm going to be making another video, not tomorrow, the next day, because I'm taking the train from my village into the mountains. And it's a new line created, I think it was the end of last year, beginning of this year. And it's called La Route de la Liberté, so it's the Freedom Road. And it goes back to the war, Second World War, when a lot of resistance people were helping Jews and other people escape into Spain. So we'll be taking that train and going to see this beautiful village. Well, it's not a village, it's a town. And it's like, oh my God, it's to die for. It's really middle class houses, hotels, restaurants. And I'll tell you more about the history on Wednesday. So it's Monday today. And so I'm going to do that on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we're going to go on a bike trail and maybe visit another house. So I can't say it's the last video of the month, but because it's at the end of the month, as every end of the month, I want to do like a recap of the month for me and how I've like got on after the breakup of my boyfriend, the death of my mother, all the bad situations that I found myself in 3 months ago. And it is 3 months ago exactly now. So at the beginning of the month, I do my goals for the month. And at the end of the month, I do a recap for myself as well, just to see how well I did. So the goals for the month of August were, number 1, find a job. Still haven't found a job. What have I done? I think I applied for about 11 jobs. I got 11 replies negatively. And that's because I think there were 9 in the USA. So I am far away and I would need to get a work visa. I need to do a lot of paperwork for that. One was in London, but it had already been taken. And then one was in Monaco and that had already been taken. So I'm not going to give up. And I'm just reading my notes. Yeah, so the job that I've gone for, I'm going to show you my CV and I'm going to show you all my skills. And I'm even going to maybe put it out on YouTube just in case anybody is looking for someone to be an executive assistant with, in fact, my title is, what is my title? Because I had to make it up because I didn't think it existed, my job. But I think I call myself Executive Holistic Concierge, Life Concierge, something like that anyway. So basically it's just an amalgamation of every single skill. Well, not every single skill, because I do have other skills which you can't actually bring to this job, but all the skills about life, all my training in holistic life coaching, executive personal assistant, and a bit of sales, a bit of marketing. What else? I know I was a teacher, that's not in it. Basically working for one person. It's all I want to do. I want to work for one person who needs somebody to literally organize their life in every single aspect. And I'm not looking for a 9-to-5 job. I'm not even looking for holidays. I don't even care. This is something that I love. It's something that I believe in and it's the way I live my life. And I want to do it for somebody else so that it's not even a job for me. This is my life. And so I do know some quite high net worth people. I mean, I don't know them very well, but I do know of them and I have met them. So I'm going to start contacting those in the month of September. And I haven't really, I said it's a priority is to find a job, but I've actually had so much to do and I've still been grieving and I've still been trying to find myself that I wasn't really in a position to have gone for any interviews and to have like said, yes, I can work tomorrow. I wasn't really at that stage. whereas in September I will be exactly at that stage where I need to be. So it's kind of worked out well not to have found a job, and I am 100% optimistic that I will find a job in September. The other goal was to sell my house. I haven't sold my house, but I had 2 visits. One definite no-no. It wasn't what he was looking for. The second one, it was a man. I think he came with his son. Yeah, he came with his son. They both loved it. It wasn't what they were looking for at all, but they came to visit it and they said they loved it and that his wife needed to come and see it. So last week, the agent phoned me up and said, can the man and his wife come tomorrow? And actually that was a day that I wasn't here. So I said no, but I can be here like any other time. And so he said, well, I'll get back to you. But I think his wife could only come on that day. So maybe they'll come back, I don't know. And then just yesterday, I had somebody on a site where I'd advertised my house contact me directly and ask if it's still available and what is my availability to show them around. And I said, you can come when you want, basically. So watch this space. So another goal was to get over my ex-boyfriend. Do you know what? Well, if you watch my videos, you know exactly how I got over him. Just was it a week ago now? Just last week, and that it was quite dramatic, but I got over him, and honestly, it just made me a different person, and I'm really grateful for that. So that's the one thing. I thought it would take longer. I thought it would take 5 months, and it's taken 3 months. So there are other things I thought I might do before that, and in fact that's the one thing that I've actually done the first accomplishment, so I'm really, really happy about that. Meeting new people, and you know I've been meeting lots of new people every month. So this month, let me just see who I met. So I met a girl that I already knew, but I didn't really know her. I'd seen her and we used to say hello, and we used to talk about another girl who was like the person that introduced us, and we don't see her anymore. Anyways, it's a French lady called Françoise, and I've just been bumping into her so often now that we exchange numbers, and you know we go for coffees in the bar. So that's one friend. The other friend, I could say boyfriend, but it's not really at that stage yet, is Christian, and we do so many things together. I mean, almost every day we see each other because he's just down the road, and at the moment, as you know, my car's in the garage having work done on it, and he's just so ready to come and help me all the time. He's so wonderful, just so wonderful. I'll talk to you more about that with another thing that I'm going to talk about. Cheryl, oh yeah, so at the weekend, so it's Monday today, on Saturday I went to Toulouse for the day and for the afternoon, and I stayed the night. I went out with my friend Tracy, that's my best friend, and she had 2 friends that I've never met before called Cheryl and Kelly, both English, and so I met them. So that's 2 new people, and we said that we're going to go back to this it's a restaurant, and then there's a nightclub attached to it, so we're going to do that again. And they were really nice to meet because they were only, how old are they, 40, you know, early 40s, 43, something like that, so 20 years younger than me. And we all got on like a house on fire. We had a great night. Georgia, that's Catherine, my friend that I met 2 months ago. That's her daughter, and you know I've been meeting Catherine, as you know, regularly, and so sometimes she brings her daughter who's 16, but honestly you would think she's like 26. She's so mature and funny and just like one of the girls. And today, in fact, I met them both in the bar for a coffee because it's Monday market, and really nice. And we have plans, all 3 of us, to go to Paris for a weekend because Catherine is an artist. We were talking about seeing if we could get some of her artwork exhibited in a gallery in Paris, and I actually know a really good artist, a really world famous and famous French artist who has a gallery in a good part of Paris, He used to live almost next door to me about 3 houses ago in France. And today, not today, sorry, just 2 days ago, I found out he died in April of this year. But he was 88, and so we decided that we will still go to Paris and go to some of the galleries there. Just go to some galleries on a Saturday, stay Saturday night. Georgia wants to go to the Moulin Rouge, and we're going to have dinner, stay in a nice hotel in the centre, and then Sunday we'll go to some Vide Greniers, some markets, and then fly back, because from Toulouse, I think it's 45-minute flight, and it's €20. So that's just something we're definitely going to do in September. Yeah, so that's it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 new people. So I don't know why I wrote all of them, because I already had met Georgia. So 4 new people, and it's amazing. What else? Oh, I know why I put everybody, because one of my goals was to get out and start going out places with friends. And so all those people that I just listed, I go out with, I've been out with, socializing and doing things that I would never normally do. I don't go to nightclubs. I haven't been to a nightclub in France. I don't think. Have I ever been to a nightclub in France? I don't think I have. I'm sure I have once. I can't remember. And if I have, it's no more than a couple of times. I can't even remember if I've been to a nightclub, but I've lived here nearly 26 years. I don't think I have. So I decided to, yeah, that's on my list here. Hold on. Because once I was on the train the other day, and I said to myself, be more open. Don't be negative about anything. If anybody suggests going somewhere, go. Normally I'd go, oh, that's not really, I don't really like nightclubs. Oh, I don't really want to go there. I've been there. That's not my cup of tea. And now I've decided, I don't know why, I think it's after I got closure from my ex-boyfriend, I've just decided to grab life and see where it takes me, and just say yes to everything and go out, have adventures, meet new people, be open, and have experiences. What else was on my list? So refine myself. So I'm doing that, and I've done. Do you know what? I thought, I'm always thinking about me. I'm always looking at my progress and analyzing myself. And even just a week ago, I didn't even, there were things that I realized about myself that I didn't know at all. So every week I'm learning new things about myself that are just astonishing me. And it's really great to get to know yourself, because we all have these illusions of who we are and what we are. And sometimes people think things about you and you say to yourself, that's not me, I'm not like that. But maybe we are like that. Maybe we are, as people see us. And anyway, like an example of that is in maybe 2 videos ago, I did sit on my sofa and I did a little bit of a talk video, and I said, I thought because for 5 years with my ex-boyfriend, I got a little bit scared of, not of life, but of this new world, since after COVID, everything changed and we all became really, there were lots more crime, lots more danger. And I don't know, I just thought it doesn't matter. At the time, I thought it doesn't matter about, going out, doing things anymore, going traveling, because I've done it all. And obviously I haven't done it all, but I thought I've done enough. I don't need to think about that anymore. I'll just stay here in the little village in Tarbes where my boyfriend lived, and just do daily routines, and that'll be enough. And you know what? Oh, absolutely not like that at all. And it dawned on me a week ago, when I wrote that letter to him, I've got to move. I've got to not move house, but move myself. I've got to push myself because that's when I start living and breathing. And as you know, if you watch that video, you know when I realized that when I was in Sweden 5-6 years ago. Body. Now with body shape, I've been trying to work on this awful neck, like a little bit of jowls creeping in. These lines here getting longer and more pronounced, and the saggy neck. I see it on some of my videos and I think, oh, it's gross. And that's only, yeah, it did appear maybe a couple of years ago, but it's got really, really prominent just in the last 6 months. Now I'm going to I'm trying to do exercises. You've seen my exercises in one of my videos, but honestly, I haven't been doing them a lot. And it's purely because I've been so busy. And at night, I'm at 8 o'clock at night, I stop and I have something to eat and I'm absolutely exhausted. And I say, oh, I should be doing all these. And I say, oh, I'll do my exercises tomorrow. And I have to be honest, this month, I've probably done them 6 or 7 times in the whole month. So I'm going to get back into that. I'm going to try and organise my days better to not have to do as much as I do and do my exercises. And the same goes for my bottom. So I wanted my bottom to be rounder because it's getting more and more flat. And I wanted it to be rounder. And there is a reason for that. Now, 2 reasons. Reason 1, I have a back problem. So I had a slip disc, how many years ago? Pre-children, so maybe like 35 years ago when I was living in England. And I had a microdiscectomy. So if you know what that is, it's like a keyhole surgery on your disc. They shave off the part that's the fluid that's come out. So you can actually, you don't have sciatica anymore. And I couldn't walk. And so that improved my back and I was back to normal really quickly. I mean, it took nearly 2 years but to get the operation and to get the diagnosis. But then as soon as the operation was done, well, I was instantly better, but I had to take it easy. And so from time to time, especially with the changes in weather, and if I lie on my side or if I do some very vigorous exercise, my sciatica, what is it? I have 2 problems. The sacrum gets misaligned and my hip moves. So I'm not straight, basically. Instead of my sacrum being straight, it goes like that. And it's always the same. It never goes like that. It's always the same way. And when I'm like that, because one leg becomes longer than the other, the longer leg gets affected. I don't get sciatica, but because that leg's longer, my knee gets really painful and starts to swell up a little bit, and it affects me when I exercise. So that's number 1. I had to stop doing it because it came on halfway through August. I phoned my physio because he fixes it in like less than 5 minutes, maybe 4 or 5 times a year. And he said the practice is closed for the rest of August. And so I've got an appointment the first week of September. And the second reason I haven't been going to the gym is because my car's in the garage, as you know. So no real improvement on my neck and no real improvement on my bottom, even though at the beginning of the month when I started to do the exercises regularly, I saw quite an improvement. But that's the thing with exercise, isn't it? As soon as you stop doing it, everything goes, and then it takes you ages to build it up again. It's really frustrating. So once I get back from the physio, that should be the same week I get my car back. I'm going to be going there 3 times a week, and I'm not going to push myself. I'm literally only doing exercises for that, as you've seen. And I've made a plan for those. Well, actually, I haven't made a plan for the neck yet, but I've made a strict plan just for the bottom exercises, and I'm going to put it onto my channel so you can see it if you want to do it. It's very simple, and 3 times a week you do see a result. Even after the first week I saw a result, But I kept thinking, well, I'll wait till the end of the month and then I'll do because I've already done the before, I'm going to do the after, but now it's kind of shrunk again. So I'm going to have to wait for the next month to do that, for September. What else is on my list? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's basically it. Just checking. Yeah, just going to quickly talk about Christian again. That's can't say my new boyfriend, because I had a talk with him the other day that I wanted to take things really slowly. I have to keep telling him, because he's really keen on me, and he always wants to kiss me, he always wants to hold my hand, and he wants to be there. He's really sweet, really, really sweet. And I have to keep telling him, please just give me a space, just give me space. And so I just want to talk about that just for a second, because what I realized was, when I was on the train and I had that epiphany: accept everything, say yes to all invitations, be open. And I am open anyway. But another thing was, and I said, only be disappointed in yourself, not in others. So what transpired from this thought was that when I thought about Christian, and I feel really good, I do feel really good with Christian. The only downside is that he wants to push the relationship really quickly. And so I kind of pull away a little bit. And I tried to explain that to him, but I don't really think, it's not that he didn't take it well, but I think he got disappointed, and he doesn't listen to everything. He just, all he sees is, oh, she doesn't know, she hasn't made her mind up about me, and he gets a little bit sad and defensive. But I didn't want to, I tried to say to him, it will be better for us in the long run if we take things easily, because otherwise I won't pull away. And I had to tell him, as you know, not to keep sending me texts all day and all night, every day and night, because I've got a life, I've actually created a life for myself, and I need to be in it, and I need to do things. And I said to him, even if I'm not texting you, it's not that I'm not thinking of you, but I do need to focus on many other things as well. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was, I kind of realized why artists have muses and writers and poets and things, and why people, maybe not now so much, but certainly in like the olden times, why they have muses, because someone to give them inspiration and inspire them. And I've never told Christian this, but he kind of does do that for me. He allows me, when he's not pushing boundaries a bit and trying to kiss me all the time, he allows me, being with him allows me to become inspired, and I get inspired, and I start being creative again, on my own as well, but with him as well. And I could never do that with my ex-boyfriend. It was complete opposite. I never found any inspiration for anything ever. And so it's a really nice thing, and I want to tell him that, but I've got to find the right words in French to tell him that, because he always thinks I'm coming at him with some bad news. Bless him. And so even though there's no chemistry, being with him, because it's nice and calming, and I feel good in his presence, and I laugh a lot, and I want to have conversations with him that open up other parts of me, other ideas and things like that. And at the moment he's a bit closed. He's a little bit closed, because I think he looks at me as a bit of an enigma. But because I really do know myself, I knew myself before. I mean, not completely, but I did know who I was, what I wanted, what I can handle, what I can't handle. But I don't think he's ever questioned himself. And I said to him the other day, what is your goal? What do you really want in life? And he said, to be happy and to be with somebody who makes me happy. And that was a bit of a deal breaker for me because, you know, he said to me, I wasn't going to say anything, but he said to me, what do you think? You know, what about you? And as I told him about myself, and he said, oh yeah, so yeah. And I said, well, the difference is, for me, I see the goal of being happy is the result of your goal. And I don't need to be happy. I can be happy. Sometimes I can be sad, and I said I find beauty in being sad. There's lots of things that, and I think creativity sometimes comes out of sadness, and certainly has done with me over the last 3 months. And so happiness for me is irrelevant, because you're either going to be happy, sad, or somewhere in between, but you don't really, it's not a goal for me. That's just not a goal. And also when he said, and be with somebody who makes me happy, and I said to him, well, that also is not me, because I think you've got to make yourself, you've got to be, you can only really be happy with yourself first if you want to be happy, but you can't rely on someone else making you happy. I mean, I was with my ex-boyfriend for 5 years. He never once made me happy. He made me miserable not for the first year, but I'd say for most of the other 4 years. He made me miserable. But I stayed with him, and I would still be with him today if he hadn't left me. But, you know, there's other things. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what you think, but anyway. And I just really thought, it's not, chemistry is not everything, is it? This ability to be able to be creative in the presence of someone else, and to get a spark of creative imagination and, you know, thoughts, and to be able to think in another plane, on another level, is everything to me, because that's the way I am, and he allows me to do that. And I've done that since I've known him. I've been able to do that more. So anyway, you probably think I'm a complete nut job, and I'm going to leave it there. So coming back, so that's the end of the month for me. The other videos, as I said, that I'm going to do, there'll just be 2 more this month, and you will probably see a town that you don't know, which is in the mountains, which is magnificent, and maybe a house visit. I'm still looking at houses, and I'm always dreaming, but, you know, I don't live in dreamland. But I like to see houses, and I like to think what I could buy if I sold my house. And I know that's interesting for people, because there's a lot of people that like looking at houses, especially the lower ends of the market. I'm not looking at chateaus or stately homes or, you know, expensive houses with swimming pools. I'm just looking at probably the cheapest end of the market, because I want to buy something that I can literally renovate from scratch. It has to have stone, it has to be built of stone walls, essential, and on the ground floor, just, you know, like a bungalow, and a nice view. And maybe I'll find something and it'll be completely the opposite, but it doesn't matter. If I have a good feeling in it, that's the most essential. So I'll come back with the next video from Lucian. Love to you all.